Welcome. I bid you welcome. John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, and I am your host for tonight, the state of Johnny Metal. And so, probably wondering, why am I doing a spur of the moment kind of live stream for tonight on a Wednesday night of all things? And there's my good friend Dan. Please go back to his channel and check out the show that we did on Rail, on the Rail EP. We definitely need to do Rail EP 2.0 for sure. But um, let me see. And then my guest from Monday night, Mr. Sidney, thank you. Good to see you guys. So first thing I want to do is I kind of want to share a couple of things of some stuff that some people I want to talk about and celebrate a little bit, and show some concerns for. So the first one, I want to give a special shout out, and I'm going to add this guy to the stage. Mr. John Gallagher from Raven. Today is his birthday, but John's been going through he's had a few health issues as of late, and he's got some medical stuff that came up. And there was somebody from the Raven Fanatics group in Facebook that knows Mark and John both, but knows them well. And I'm going to add this to the stage. Let's see. So let me just move that. So I wanted to share this. It's a GoFundMe set up for John Gallagher's health. So this was set up by a fellow named Roy Costin. John was admitted to the hospital with a massive headache back on August 12th. Following a CAT scan, it was determined that he was suffering from a bleed on the brain, a subdural hematoma. Surgery was planned for the next day. A more invasive surgery was done on the 19th of August. It's caused a lot of tour dates to be canceled and a bunch of other things that had to happen. There's a whole article here that you can talk about where it talks about Raven and different things like that. So the goal here was $10,000. And at this point, it looks like about 4,600 has been raised. So good on Roy for getting that set up. So Kyle, how you doing, my friend? Yes, John and Mark, both super cool folks, and everybody greeting each other. Yeah, John and Mark were just well, and Mike, the current drummer, super cool folks. Yeah, got to meet them when they played up in Huntsville, Alabama, which is about a 2-hour drive from here, from where I live, and they played in this little brewery, and maybe 100, 200 people at that. You had a band called Riot Act, which was one of the guitar players who had played in the band Riot at one time, and he kind of formed a new band, and they play a little bit of the old Riot material. They were fantastic in concert, really good band. And then they had two local bands, Temple of Blood, and I never know how to pronounce the other band's name, Charcey or something like that. It's a really odd spelling, so I don't know exactly how to pronounce that correctly. Ash, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, we have a couple breweries in here that have concerts. Actually, one I've kind of boycotted because they booked Ted Nugent, and then realized, yeah, Ted's not going to work very well here. So yeah, so that didn't work out. There's Brian. Good to see you, brother. Missed you on Monday, so we'll have to try to get all the group back together. Boy, I wish I could have. No, I never got to see Wasp until 2022, and I never saw Slayer in concert. To my knowledge, they never toured close enough for me to go see them. Um, but I know that was a crazy that was a crazy lineup. Ravens, Slayer, and Wasp. And I would have loved to have seen that show. Um, so no, did not get to see that one, unfortunately. But anyway, I want to wish John Gallagher first a very happy birthday, and my thoughts and prayers are still with you with your ongoing medical issues. God bless Roy for getting the GoFundMe started, and to get that going really well. So hats off to Roy for that. Um, Now, the next couple things I want to talk about is this one that actually focuses more on me. And then the other things I want to talk about probably be more of a chance to let me celebrate other things a little bit. Um, so one of the first things I want to talk about is, and I've not really shared this really with many people publicly, but I had a physical back in the end of August, and for um, mostly everything of the physical came through pretty well. There was just one thing that seemed a little off, and it's kind of confounded the doctor a little bit. Um, Very good, Byron. You're right. Hats off to Roy Harper. Um, and welcome, Byron. Thank you for joining. I'm loving it. Loving. I've got a good little crowd here. Um, anyway, so everything came back on my blood test, but there was one thing that was low, and it was my platelet counts, and I don't really know why. Um, it's not like I've been eating, I've been eating good. I've been eating very healthy. If for those of you who may have seen some of um, um, my uh, videos where I do for DDP yoga, talking about like my reflection of the month and things like that, and just how I'm feeling and what I'm doing. If for those who can see me, you can probably notice I've lost some weight. Since the beginning of the year, I've dropped about 50 pounds. Trying to work on the guns a little bit too. Um, but um, so I'm trying to work on getting healthy again. So I'm eating better. I'm staying off. I decided to go dry for 2025. I'm not a smoker. I'm not a vapor. I don't do any illicit drugs and any of those kind of things. Yes, I've been making it a point to do it yearly. Um, last year they had me set up for my first colonoscopy, so that was a good thing too. So yeah, and DDP yoga has been a great program for me. It's done a lot of good things for me, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, my so I go for my blood test, and yeah, my platelet counts are are really really low, abnormally low, but everything else is great. um and I'm not trying to make any guilt things going on here, Dan. So um if I could find the 50 pounds I lost, Sydney, I'll ship it up to you. But anyway, so I've gone back for a couple more blood tests, thinking if I just kept eating well, if I kept doing this, if I kept doing that, that everything would be doing well. And everything is still coming up kind of low. And it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Byron, I'm glad I did, because really I have cancer, colon cancer, in my family. My grandmother, my mother's mother, had a really horrific case of that back in the 50s. And back then, they didn't have a lot of money, so they weren't really able to do a lot with it. Um, so um, so oh God, stop. Anyway, um, so and she passed away. She went from a plump Pennsylvania Dutch woman to basically skin and bones. I mean, she really had a hard battle with it. So, don't don't ignore it. If you want to make sure you get tested. And I did have a couple small polyps, and thankfully they were able to be removed. Nothing, nothing came out of it. However, I do have to go back for um, yeah. So I'm sorry to hear that, Kyle. Yeah, yeah. My father-in-law had bladder cancer. My dad had lung cancer, although he was never a smoker, so we don't really know how he got lung cancer. But so yeah, cancer is kind of in my family, unfortunately. So yeah, so I apologize to I hate to hear that, Kyle. Anyway, so there was that, but yeah, so now I've got an appointment. I'm waiting on a hematologist to give me a call, so we can set up an appointment and get so I can get my blood, see what's going on in my blood, if it's if it's just maybe a deficiency of something, or maybe I picked up some weird autoimmune disease, or who knows. I feel fine otherwise. I mean, I did have a sinus infection that I tested negative for a lot of different things like COVID and flu and strep and stuff like that. So yeah, so I've tested negative for certain things, so I don't know what's going on with that, but it'll still be something that we'll want to get checked out, and I'll hopefully get to input or update, I should say. So there's that, and then yeah, don't want to mess around with that. Hopefully he's doing well, and they're able to treat it well, and hopefully they'll be able to take care of him. And hopefully he'll be able to pull through. That'll be the big thing. Yeah, and pancreatic cancer is always a tough one. Yeah, even with some of the medical advances that they've had lately, pancreatic cancer is not something you want to fool with. So, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Ash. Yeah, that's horrible. The second thing I want to talk about is I've mentioned on here before where I've lost where I walked away from a job that I had for almost 22 years, and basically for mental health issues, and mental health stability and stuff like that. And I have been blessed with granted it's just a part-time job, but we're working on hopefully making this a full-time. Yeah, and blood clots aren't something to mess around with either. Um, so I started kind of updating my LinkedIn account a little bit, and I actually got recruited by somebody to for a particular job, and it would be a full-time job, and it would be along the lines of some shipping and packaging and things like that. But it also required a few other things that, sounded like it would make for a pretty full day for me. It would be something though that would it would essentially keep me off of doing shows during the week. So I wouldn't be like Monday Night Metal wouldn't be happening. And obviously this time slot wouldn't be happening. And amongst a few other times that I wouldn't be able to do shows during the week. I'd only be available really during the weekend. So the more I heard about the job after I talked to somebody about it, when I kind of talked about my own, oh boy, prostate cancer and dementia. Yikes. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Kyle. Again, my condolences. I basically kind of told him my job history and where the last year had been. And so I don't know if talking about my mental health was maybe a good idea, because I could definitely hear the air in the guy's balloon basically just deflate, and he was ready to let me go, because he could tell I was and I mentioned that I was happy doing what I was doing at the moment, and I'm happy doing the job I'm doing right now, and I don't get to deal with the public and things like that. And this job would eventually have me geared towards something like that. So it was just something that I decided not to embark on. And so hopefully hopefully I didn't sell myself short, but I felt I wanted to make sure that they knew about my mental health concerns, and that that there was been um, something there that I felt needed to be dealt with in that regard. So I did that. Um, anyway, so there's that, and so I passed up a maybe what could have been a good opportunity. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it was a good idea to talk about my mental health, because I didn't want to get into a job and then about a month or two later, I'm finding myself back in where I was about a year or so ago. So there's that. And I've only been doing this job that I've had for a couple of months now. And again, it's been a blessing to me. It's been a good thing for me. So we'll see where the next thing goes from there. But so there's that. Let's see. No, I'm certainly no famous YouTuber. You've seen my subscriber count, right? Which I'm going to say thanks in advance to anybody who likes, shares, and subscribes to this. Okay, so I'll just say that. But no, I'm not even at a thousand. Heck, I'm not even to 700 subscribers yet. So no, that would be Pete or Grant or Brendan Snyder, maybe, or Chris Van Vliet, or Stevie Richards, or some of those guys, or Davey 504, the guy who plays the bass. I think he's got like 15 million subscribers or something like that. But no, that's no. I just felt like I wanted to be upfront and honest about my mental health with them. So because I really do want to be better as a better human being. I want to be a better employee. I want to be a better coworker, and I just want to. There's a lot of stuff I want to be able to work on with me, and I don't know if I'm quite there yet. So it's going to take time, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. It is funny. Well, no, I don't want to give the company's name away, but I mentioned a record company, and they did know who that was. So maybe they might know who Rick Buto is. I don't know, but anyway, so there's that. So there's a couple of heavy things for you. I also want to talk about. I want to also talk about a couple of other friends of mine. They also share a birthday today. One, her name is Pam, and she was a girlfriend of my old friend Mike. Probably the best friend probably the best friend I've ever had in my life. Mike's my brother in blood, and I love him to death. And so hopefully Mike's watching this or can catch up with this. And yeah, I wish I could do that. I even at this job, I wish I could do it. But I'm actually kind of happy for yeah, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Yeah, it's not my birthday, Brian. It was John Gallagher's birthday today, and it's these two people I'm about to talk to, Pam, and it's her birthday. So she was a girlfriend to my friend Mike, and I met her like once or twice back in the 80s, and I remember taking a ride in her Chevette that she had at the time. So that was and I remember that was a bumpy ride. That Chevette was pretty pretty tough to ride in. It was kind of cold that time too, and I don't know if her heat was working. But and then my other good friend Bill, Bill was probably one of my earliest best friends I ever had, and he was the guy that got me into professional wrestling. So our dads worked together in the insurance business, and we all went to church together. And Bill's like a couple of years older than I am, and I'd go over to we'd always go over to their house. So, and I see these wrestling magazines, and I'm just like, kind of, wow, these are kind of cool. So one day he had me watching wrestling with him, and I was living in Pennsylvania, so it was the WWF back then, and I think I remember like Larry Zbyszko and Tony Gurria taking on the Lumberjacks, I think it was, for the tag belts. So that was like one of the first matches I think I ever saw on TV. So so Bill was the one that got me into wrestling, and he and I would be in their basement, and they had one of those old hoppity horses. So yes, it is. Yes, it is. But now for people like Byron and maybe and Brian and Dan and a few of those, y'all know what a hoppity horse is, right? So the hoppity horse was like it was something you blew up and like it was like a big ball, and you had these they had these handles, and and you got to kind of hop around on them. That's okay, Dan. I bet you're making something good for dinner too. So I and wish I it's probably better than what I had. I just had PB and J's. Um, well, we would take this hoppity horse, and we would actually like have a wrestling match with him. So so that was always kind of silly stuff we would do back then. But he and his family then moved to um, oh yeah, well, rocks and sticks, that works too. Um, salmon and I bet that tastes good. That does taste good. Um, like a hoppity hop. Yeah, yeah, maybe that's what I was trying to say. I was thinking maybe I was saying hippity hop. Hoppity hop. Yeah. Or hoppity horse or something like that. Anyway, so when I was in fifth grade, his family moved to Wisconsin, where they were originally from, and I would see him, a couple of times over the years. We'd visit. Sadly, I haven't seen Bill and his family for over 40 years. His dad since has passed away, and his mom still keeps in touch with my mom, and every once in a while I get a message from both his brother, both Bill and his sister. The sister was a couple of months older than me, and she just had a birthday just recently. So, yeah, there you go. Well, I don't know. I didn't hear that was always that good of an Aerosmith album. So, anyway, so yeah, so it's my good friend Bill's birthday, and I keep saying one of these days I need to get out to Wisconsin to visit him and visit him and the family, because it's been many a year since I've seen him, and yeah, maybe a little bit. I had a lot of stuffed animals and stuff when I was growing up, so oh, nice, yeah, Mad Dog Vachon, yeah. Always read about him in some of those old magazines. It's funny. One of the magazines that I remember Bill having, and he actually eventually gave it to me. Um, and um, One of the magazines he had was it had a match. There was like Dusty Rhodes and Ernie Ladd was on the cover, but there was an article in there about, was this the bloodiest match ever? And it was Terry Funk versus Abdullah the Butcher in Japan. And they showed some black and white pictures of this match, and it was, looked pretty grotesque. You know, well, Undertaker's a good one. Yeah, love Baron Von Raschke. He was cool. Baron Von Raschke's always good. Yeah, Mankind versus Undertaker, the Hell in the Cell match. I was watching that pay-per-view live with a group of friends, and oh my God, what a match that was. And we were all like, whoa, and all that stuff. Man, it was just insane. Um, I got to see Mick Foley. I got to see Mick Foley at a comedy club here about 7 years ago, and he was Von Erich's. My wrestling buddy Karen would love to share some Von Erich stories with you, Brian, because she grew up in San Antonio, so she knows a lot about the Von Erichs. She was a big Von Erich fan. But no, no, that was not 100% scripted. No, they made some of that off on the fly. But Mick Foley talked about that match and at this comedy club, so it was really cool to hear some stories and stuff like that. So it was really pretty cool. But anyway, so Terry Funk versus Abdullah the Butcher, and I'd love to actually find a filmed version of that match to see if it's the same one I think it is from the magazine. There's ones out there, but the film quality is really kind of bad, and you got a lot of the Japanese dubbing or speaking over the commentary over it, so it's kind of hard to understand it. It's just all it's all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so Bill Happy birthday, brother. I miss you guys. I will really need to get up there to see you guys one day. So, and that was the other thing about that about with Mick Foley is I did the meet and greet before the show, so I did actually get to meet him a little bit, and that was pretty cool. Got a picture and got a couple things signed from him. Yeah, Nick Bockwinkel, Vern Gagne. See, that was all in that Wisconsin, all that Midwest stuff, all the AWA um, area. And, for anybody who remembers Bobby Heenan's WWE Hall of Fame induction speech, you'll know what the AWA stood for. So, anyway, if anybody wants to know, I'll be happy to tell you. But anyway, so yeah, happy birthday, Bill. Happy birthday, Pam. Hope you guys have had a great day. And again, happy birthday to John Gallagher from Raven. High Flyers, yeah, Jim Brunzell and Greg Gagne. Yeah, good tag team there. So let's see. Another interesting thing that happened to me on this day back in 1996. And I'll probably still do some wrestling talk as I see it come up. But this day in 1996, and I think I did a video about this last year, but I gotta show this off. So this was that was my shirt from 3 nights in Philly that Kiss did on the first reunion tour in 1996. We went on the first night on October 8th. So this day, 29 years ago, it was me and my ex and another couple that we went with. Sadly, however, my seats were the second to last row, center stage, but all the way in the back of the arena. Yeah, that wasn't going to fly with the half of the other couple that went with us. I think she was having an anxiety attack being that high up in the stadium or in the arena. And so we managed to go down to arena services and stuff like that. And we actually got into a box seat and we got to hang out with, people in a box seat and got to see the show from a much better perspective. So that was a pretty cool show. The opening act was the Bogman, and they were getting booed off the stage. So they were pretty bad I didn't get to see them, but I heard the booing, and that was bad enough. So anyway, so that was on this day 29 years ago. I still wish I had my my ticket stub. I don't know whatever happened to that ticket stub. Christian, brother, one of these days we're going to get you on here. We need to do that. I still want to get you on camera here with me someday. Yeah, I saw that Kiss reunion twice. I saw it again in 97 up in Baltimore. And we had a different couple with us for that one. But that one I still have my concert stub from. Powerman 5000 was the opening band for that one. They were getting a little bit of boos, but mostly just a lot of no interest from anybody in the crowd. So that was Powerman 5000. But anyway, so let's see what else we got. Let's see. I only really have one other thing that I really kind of want to talk about. That's right. Get the flash them horns up. One last thing I want to talk about, and it was this person's birthday. So let me add this up here. My great nephew Sammy, he turned 6 yesterday. Love getting these pictures, and oh God, Sydney and Dan, that's a great pair. But anyway, Sammy turned 6 yesterday. For those who don't know, Sammy is my great nephew. Right after he turned 3, he was diagnosed with a rare brain cancer called AT/RT, which is a very nasty little cancer, brain cancer, spinal fluid cancer. Yeah, the first time I saw Kiss actually was with Eric Singer on drums, but Bruce Kulick was still in the band. I was on the Revenge show with Ace and Peter. Both of those shows were amazing. in 96 and 97. Anyway, Sammy has um, was able to get the tumor removed. Unfortunately, it took his eye out, and so that's why you can see he's got a patch on. Um, he is going to be having a reconstructive surgery to be able to get fitted for a be able to be fitted for a prosthetic. Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate that. Yeah. He is doing better. The big thing right now is that if he can get to 8 years old and have continue his him having clean scans where no cancer shows back up, nothing out of the ordinary shows up. And oh wow, Christian, wow, interesting. You'll have to tell me that story someday. Um, um, the chances of this AT/RT coming back to him reduce significantly. So, so as long as he can, as long as he can stay, as long as he's gets the oh boy, as long as he stays, as long as the scans come back clean and everything stays good, he's good. He's in kindergarten right now at a public school, which I wasn't sure that was going to work out for him, but it seems to be working out great for him. He seems to be really taking to it well. I'm hearing good things, so that's a good thing. Good to see you, Ash. Thank you. Go check out Grant's channel in 30 minutes here. So that'll be good stuff. Yeah, God's definitely been blessing Sammy with strong family support. My brother takes good care of him, and my sister-in-law, and and his parents have been working a lot. Yeah, tell me about it, DC. I appreciate. Yeah, very much good news. So yeah, he's turned 6 yesterday, and a lot of good stuff. So we're happy. I'm definitely happy for that, and happy to see him there. so there you go. A lot of good things that I just felt like I wanted to share and celebrate. I didn't want it to be kind of a totally downer with some of the health news of some folks and which again I just kind of want to share this about with John from Raven. I just want to share this again. If you're a fan of Raven and you want to help them out with a donation to their GoFundMe and just to help them out with his medical costs, that would I know they would absolutely love that. They would be very appreciative of that. Let me see, what else have I got in the loop? So we got Monday Night Metal coming up again next week. Don't know what I'm going to do for it yet, but it'll be something good. We'll have the 1995 show with Grant, DC, Byron, Yvonne the Music Man, John the Music Nut, probably Eric Hansen. Who else, DC? Who else has been joining that? Maybe that's it. I guess that's it. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but anyway, I know that's going to be a fun show. I'm looking forward to talking about my picks from 1995. Next week, I'll be seeing Little Feat in concert. So thank you, DC. I appreciate that. I didn't think I missed anybody, but it's good to know I got them all. So anyway, yeah, I'll be seeing Little Feat in concert next Tuesday, so that'll be good. And looking forward to seeing that. John, the Music Nut, got me into Little Feat and started listening to their catalog, and there's a lot of really fun music there. And I really like the Little George solo album. So yeah, it is. Thank goodness we don't play all of our songs. We played all of our songs, man. We'd be there all night long. So yeah, so that's gonna be a fun night. I'm gonna give a shout out to Seasick Records, where they're doing I have a part of their record club, and we're gonna do they're doing a Halloween karaoke. So I think what I might do is I might strap the BC Rich Warlock on with a leather jacket, put a Wasp shirt on, and put a pair of sunglasses on, and do a karaoke to a Wasp track or something. So that'll be my Halloween costume, I guess you could say. But anyway, so that'll be good. Let's see. I hear so much about Blackberry Smoke, and I have yet to check them out. I really ought to. I've got a buddy up in the Chattanooga area. His name is Eric Turner. Go check him out on Bandcamp under the Acoustic ET, I believe. He's got some really good music that's just good for the soul and gets you moving, gets you shaking a little bit, and it's good stuff. And Eric's a good guy too. So I've never checked out. I've never checked him out. I really ought to though. One of these days I'm going to. But anyway, so there you go, folks. That's kind of the state of Johnny Metal. Just some things that's going on with me personally that I felt like I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about and share just maybe some personal stuff with me. I always enjoy doing no, that is not the same Eric Turner from Warren. I think that Eric he spells his name with a K, I think, but no, different Eric Turner. Really good dude. In fact, you know what? I'm going to actually play one of his songs to write out this show tonight, so you all can hear a little bit of my buddy ET, and you can hear what kind of music he does. So with that said, folks, thank you all for tuning into this impromptu little show tonight. And what I'm going to do is we're going to ride us out with a song from ET. Here it's I have to think of which song I picked. I want to say it's Groovin' or Moving. I think I have to think about which song I put in my thing now. But anyway, I hope you all have a great rest of the night. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, share with all your all your friends. I'd love to get some more subscribers to my lot, and we'll keep doing some good stuff here. So yeah, no, I don't have that song. So anyway, so with that said, I'm going to ride us out here with this song from my buddy ET. And like I said, it's not really a metal song, but it's just a good groove and good feel good song. And I really like this one. So ride us out, ET, and let's have a good night. So I'm going to pull this up and